Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna here basically discussing one of the topic that is city creation. City creation basically we are discussing this topic basically. So one of the person wrote that this is the world basically. The whole world basically is running now. The businessman, the stock exchange, the currency department, the stock exchange, the medical department, the university, the big university, the Oxford, the Harvard groups, the big universities, the Delhi University, the Parliament House, the White House, the big house, that house, this house, whatever house basically, each and every presidents of the world, each and every prime minister of the world, each and every chief minister of the country, each and every MLS, each and every corporators, each and every small workers basically, and each and every doctors, each and every software industry, each and every software company's owner, up to the base group basically, they all are basically doing this only basically. So this is the base of the management basically. That is this basically. So one of the person told that somebody has created the blood cells and they are basically doing the management. The rest of groups are basically doing the management basically. So here management is what basically? This group basically got the disease. Assume that basically he created 100 blood cells. So 100 blood cells equal to what basically? 100 blood cells equal to, assume that 100 blood cells, to create 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 100 blood cells, 1000 cities was created. To create 100 blood cells, 1000 city was created. So this C basically management C basically. How the things are managed and each and every things are basically connected directly with this only. Directly connecting to this only. So see the management. To create 100 blood cells, 100 city was created. To create 100 blood cells, 100 city was created, and the base of the management. So to create, to maintain each and every 100 cities basically. Everything is basically created. The department, software companies, base or stock exchange, because the stock exchange is also basically inside the cities only basically. So this is the base basically you can say. So this is the base of the entire management basically. That is this blood cells creation. One of the person told that software blood cells is also one of the main blood cells basically, which is controlled by thousands of software companies. So here that is basically connecting like this, and that is big software companies. Each and every software each and every software companies are connected with, each and every software companies are connected with what? This software blood cells creation. So see basically the management see basically. And here basically the blood cells, in blood cells, this blood cells is also there basically. That is this HIV/AIDS blood cells. That basically we have already discussed, and that is very dangerous topic basically. That basically is very dangerous topic, because that basically one person basically if he gets the HIV/AIDS, then basically his antibiotic, his body basically will not get the antibiotic. Why? Because one or two cities are created. So from one or two city basically his body is going to get the immunity basically. That's not possible basically. So for that he have, the government have to think basically some beyond basically. They have to create some few more cities basically, so that basically they can get the antibiotic. Whatever things basically you eat in this world basically, whatever, even basically you are drinking water basically, that require the energy basically, and that is basically connected with the city's creation. One of the person told that assume that there are 1,000 type of blood cell waters that is connected with the cities basically. If that cities basically are getting problem basically, that water is going to become poison to your body basically. That water is going to become poison basically. For example, um, currently basically war is ongoing between Russia and Ukraine. Assume that basically from one of the city of Russia or basically one of the city of Ukraine, some group basically has created some water basically, aquaguard, Bisleri, whatever basically, and that city basically suddenly ended, and that water basically is already created. See that things basically it's very dangerous basically. The water is already created. Now what is the things basically going to happen? They basically can't destroy the water basically because it's connecting to the investment basically. It's a huge investment basically. It's a huge investment. People basically started drinking that water also, this each and everything, but they are basically not going to get the energy. Why? Because that city is only ended. So until the stock basically is existing basically of the particular water, till that time basically the people is going to get any type of disease. But as the stock ended of the power company, as the stock is ended from the power company, the new stock basically will not get. Why? Because the city is already ended. City is already ended. Now what are the things basically going to happen? The things basically is going to happen is the people are going to get disease. The people are going to get disease. So that's why basically the government have to take care of each and everything. This everything is basically controlled by government only basically. And you can't say that basically भाई मैं तेरे को 100 करोड़ देता हूँ, launch my water in my country. That basically will not work basically, and that is going to create the problem to entire government basically. And one day it might possible that the entire parliament house will get suffer basically. So that type of thing basically you have to take care. So here the water example I have given, and that city basically ended. So whatever things basically you apply to the cities, apply to the countries, you have to take care that basically that city will not, from what is the source of the object. So water basically assume that basically some government told that basically भाई हम water का permission दे देते, but you have to display the entire thing basically in the documentation basically, that from where basically we are taking the water, which is the city, is the city is going to end or not basically, like this each and everything basically you should know basically. That basically government is by default basically might be knowing only basically. Government basically are not killing the people basically. Government is killing the people basically. No, government are not killing the people. So that basically, so one of the person to the government is not taking care, then basically who will? Then public have to aware. But public basically up to what level, because they don't have the access. They know that the public know that basically this water is basically created from which city. If they are not knowing, then basically they have to create their private group basically, that is a private government. Otherwise basically government will say that by city the end ho gaya, we can't do anything. They basically will say that basically sorry we can't do. They basically have only one word basically, sorry basically we can't help it basically. So that time basically the private government have to be activated. That is the data science project basically, that basically data science group basically can have to handle this situation basically. For that basically they have to keep giving the business to the software company only. The private group basically, that is the private sector basically, they have to keep giving the business to the software company. Otherwise basically they are not doing the charity basically. The software company will tell that only basically, they are not doing the charity. So like this basically things are there basically. So government basically are can't handle everything basically, because government. So just see the example you see basically. One city is getting created, that city has converted into water basically, and that is basically one of the blood cells basically from the 100. That basically water is supplying some dangerous ideas basically inside the body basically, and that idea basically might generate some disease also basically. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic.